Hi, class. Today we're going to speak a little bit about taxes and government jobs. When you hear the word taxes, most people, especially adults, get a little irritated because when they have to pay taxes, they feel like money is being taken from them and they're getting nothing in return. And it's not really the case. Taxes are a really important part of our society. Um, and while it can be frustrating to feel like you've worked hard and the government has taken your money, the reality is you actually get back more through the benefits of the government spending the money than what the government took from you. And we'll talk about some examples. I remember when I was 14, I got my first paycheck and I made $7.25 an hour. And I knew how many hours I worked. So I thought I knew exactly how much my paycheck was going to be for. And when I got it, I opened it and I was really excited. And my check was for less than the amount I thought it would be. And my dad spoke to me about taxes and explained and showed me on my check where all the taxes came out and what they were for. Um, and that was kind of a big moment for me because I had never really thought about all the things I'm able to do in life and in my community that are paid for by my taxes that I don't pay for those things directly. And so I want to give you a few examples of those. Um, when you go to school, you don't pay for every day that you go to school. Well, that's because your schools are paid for using taxes. We all chip in a little bit of money each year, and that helps cover the cost for you to go to school. And that's your school bus. That covers paying your teachers. That's the computers, the school building, all of the equipment, everything to do with you going to school um, that you don't pay for out of your pocket when you use it comes from your taxes. So if you didn't pay taxes, if no one paid taxes, you either wouldn't go to school or you have to pay a really large amount of money to go to school every single year. Some other things are the police, firefighters, the military. Those are all paid through taxes. Um, some other things are libraries, your parks, and a lot of playgrounds are paid for through taxes. Roads are paid using tax money. A lot of science research, everything that you see with space shuttles and going to Mars and telescopes and all that really cool stuff, and all the science research, a lot of that is paid for with tax dollars. Some other things that we don't always think about are this thing called unemployment. If you lose your job, the government gives you a little bit of money to help you get by until you find a new job. Well, that's paid for by taxes. Same thing if you receive housing assistance, if you ever go on disability, and sometimes you'll see people that are retired, they collect something called Social Security, which is basically the government taking some of our tax money and giving it to people that have worked their whole life to help them get by in retirement. So if you really think about this, I'll give you a good example here. Every year, I probably pay a few $1,000s in taxes. But if I didn't pay those, let's say I pay $5,000 in taxes, and I don't even think it's that much. But if let's say I pay $5,000 in taxes, I easily receive more than $5,000 in benefits. Um, and so that's the whole idea. The idea is there are certain things that all of us want and need, and it makes society work better. It makes it work more efficiently. And so what they do is they basically, everyone chips in, it goes into this big pot, and then the government goes ahead and spends it so that we all benefit from it. And that's a good thing. A lot of people wouldn't have jobs. Anyone that works for the government would not have a job if it wasn't for taxes. And a lot of the things you use and benefit from every single day come from taxes. So when you hear somebody say to you that everything they've accomplished in life, they've done on their own, it's not really true because they wouldn't have been able to use the roads. They wouldn't have police protection. They wouldn't have the ability to get all the licenses and everything they need to run their business if they're a business owner. Clean air and water probably wouldn't exist the way that they do were it not for taxes that fund research in order for us to understand all of these things. So taxes are important. I know it always stinks to feel like someone is taking something from you, but trust me on this. What you spend in taxes, what you will pay in taxes in your life is tiny. It is like this big compared to all the benefits you will receive from how the government spends tax money. And so, I want you to think about, and maybe teacher, after I finish, this would be a good discussion, is for the students to spend some time thinking about all the things that they get to do or use or places they go, and whether or not that's funded with tax money. Because I think the hard part about taxes is until you know who's receiving a paycheck that comes from your tax dollars or where your tax dollars are spent, you aren't really always able to appreciate how much you get back for that little amount that you contribute. I hope this was helpful. Always pay your taxes, not just because it benefits you, but if you don't, you're going to go to jail. And that's a bad thing. And I don't want that to happen to everyone. So pay your taxes. This is not something to stress about. And you're always going to be better off for doing so. Thanks.